Hello, Empowered family. William Robbins here, your director, back with another Empowered Athlete Player of the Week. Our very own Katie Crowe, representing Purdue Fort Wayne, had an amazing season this year. Just ended Player of the Year, Offensive Player of the Year, taking home 2 of the top 3 titles in the conference in the Horizon League. Couldn't get that 3rd one, Defensive Player of the Year. You step up the defense. Amazing. Tell me about this season with COVID, everything going on. Tell me a little bit about the season.
Truthfully, I thought it was going to be a struggle this year, going into a new league, having a lot of freshmen come in. I think we had 5 come in again. So our team's really young. So none of us had very high expectations for this season, but we also had nothing to lose. So we went into it working hard. We had all of fall to prepare for spring to play in games and stuff. So we grinded through it and we just made it work, and we came up on top, thankfully.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. And it sounds like, season was going extremely well. Yeah, we kept getting some different little highlights and stuff we were seeing on social media. Unfortunately, we couldn't make it to any of the games with no fans, but we were following through social media and the box scores. And you actually had 3 times in a row this season as well that you were Player of the Week. I guess tell me about those 3 weeks, that span where was the team just really playing well and putting you in good situations? Did you feel like you were just in a really good zone and a good rhythm hitting wise?
I would say all of the above. We have a very strong hitting team. So we run a 5-1, and with the 5-1, I'm front row with our setter. So we have one rotation where there's 3 hitters front row, and that's one of our strongest rotations because it's Maddie Worster on the right side, who's also an Empowered alum. So our whole entire front row just clicked really well. Our defense picked up. Our setter performed extremely well. I think she broke some school records or had career highs. Everyone just performed well. So for me to get Player of the Week 3 times in a row, it was actually more of a show on how well our team clicks, because we all just can do everything together.
Well, definitely. If you've got a team that's really firing on all cylinders and everyone's contributing, then the defense is constantly off balance and they don't know who to block. You're in a good rhythm. The setter's in a good rhythm with all the hitters. So it really does keep the defense off balance and opens up some holes and some seams in the block, and allows for a great hitter like yourself to really just expose them and be able to score a lot of points. So 3 weeks in a row. I haven't seen that. I'm not sure. I'm sure it's never been done before, but that's a pretty amazing accomplishment. And so it sounded like you were actually averaging a little over 5 kills per set, and ended up with about 4.2 kills per set, only because it sounded like you had a few nagging injuries that started to creep up on you late in the season. Can you kind of tell me about what you had to battle through?
I had some issues with my actual whole left leg. I would get pinched nerves, my knee was super messed up, my hamstring and IT band and calves were all really, really tight. Our trainer ended up dry needling me multiple times a week. I really just kind of pushed through all my pain, and then later on, after my legs started to get better, I pulled my ab pretty bad. Then I had to set out of practice for a couple of days. And it was just, I tried to do everything for the team just to work hard and relax my body so I could work hard, I guess you could say. But
Well, we've actually talked, Sam, Carlin, our libero for our 18s team, ended up breaking her hand in a tournament and ended up battling through. We obviously didn't know it was broken. And we had her on and talked about how do you battle through pain and injuries, as an athlete. That's something that a lot of times we have to do. Obviously, if it's not too sincere and causing more damage. What kind of tips could you give to just our audience and all of our aspiring volleyball players? How can you kind of compartmentalize or block out the pain to still perform and not allow it to be an excuse to not go out and perform at your best?
I would say first take care of your body. So if you even have something small bothering you, like I knew my like whole leg was pretty tight, I would stretch, I would roll out, I would ice, I would take ibuprofen before practice, I would do little gator lights to like help my electrolytes increase. I would eat healthy. I would try and do everything I could to like plenish my body with good foods and nutrients. But then when I got on the court, obviously like that pain didn't go away right away. So most of the time I would take ibuprofen. I would realize that like, yeah, I'm in pain right now. But once my adrenaline kicks in, it kind of just, I focused on volleyball and I just pushed through. Just because that's who I am as a player, I always go as hard as I can, even if I'm hurt. Mm-hmm. But my advice would just to be take care of your body when you can.
Yeah. No, that's pretty wise words. I mean, being proactive and trying to take care of your body before it breaks down and before the injuries should always be first and foremost. And then, yeah, I felt like in my playing career too, if I could focus on the game and focus on the task at hand, you know, the moment would kind of take care of itself and it would help me to block that pain out. But too many times, you know, you tend to focus on that injury, then it's only gonna, you know, grow and it's gonna distract you from your task at hand. So yeah, that's great words of wisdom. You know, take care of yourself, and then if you are injured, you know, try to focus on the game, focus on what you can do to contribute, and just try to block it out and move on. So career-wise, it looks like COVID. You know, you're going to be allowed one more year. So while you are going to come back,
yeah,
one more.
I told him actually before our season. I told him early in the school year. He was pretty excited. I was too. It's just a really good position for me to be in. They have the master's program that I want to go into. I'm at home. I have all my friends and family around me, and I love the school I'm at. So it all just works out really well.
That's fantastic. So what are you majoring in?
I'm gonna get a master's in organizational leadership.
Oh, nice. So yeah, so I guess that's kind of the silver lining with COVID and how it disrupted the season and everything. You get an extra year of eligibility and get to work on your master's. And get a little further down your academic journey.
I'm excited.
Yeah, that's fantastic. So Katie, so going into your freshman year, you know, coming from club to college, sounds like you made a pretty good adjustment. You ended up making all freshman team. You know, tell me what you focused on your senior year at the club, you know, to prepare you for college. And then also, you know, what was that transition like going from club sports to that collegiate game and the Division I level?
I would say starting with club, I had a lot of really good coaches, obviously, like they all played at the school I go to right now, actually. But they also, all the coaches that I had pushed me really hard to get me to the point where I was to be successful. And then when I got to college and started playing for Coach Florio, he continued to push me and he continued to help me tweak my game, along with me putting in the effort going into my freshman year of college. Over the summer, I played a lot of beach, I played co-ed. I put in the effort to want to start, and that clearly helped. Like, I made it a point. I know going in as a freshman and like having the expectation for yourself to want to start is a hard expectation to actually grab and like achieve. But I would say that being confident, like knowing what I wanted and knowing how to get it was what was most helpful. And then as my like collegiate career went on, I just continued to like grind and push hard through like everything that I was like struggling with or anything that I thought was holding me back. I just kind of was like, all right, let volleyball be my focus. And it worked out. Like, I love volleyball. I obviously have thought about playing overseas or staying here in the States and trying to like pursue AVP or something like that, but I'm not sure yet. So I think that I'll continue to grind through it all and keep working at it.
Right. Well, yeah, and that really is the truth. I think too many times, you know, we get questions all the time, you know, what does it take to win a championship? What does it take to reach the highest levels, get to the pros? And I feel like our society nowadays, everybody's looking for a quick solution, you know, a magic pill. There's some secret trick that we're training our athletes and that's why they're going on to play in college. But in the end, it really is simple. You got to have the heart and passion for it and be just truly committed to the sport and doing whatever it takes to be that starter, do whatever it takes to improve your skills. If you don't have a good vertical, work. Put the time in the weight room, put the time in the Vertimax and the sand, working on increasing your vertical. There is no real shortcut in sports. So you have to put the time in to get the result that you want.
Exactly.
And so, yeah, I think obviously you were a gym rat, you were in the gym every day, all from high school all the way through, even now, with you in school, in the off season, you're constantly in the gym, you're on the court, in the sand, playing as much as possible, honing your skills. So I think that's, you're a perfect example of what it takes to make it to that next level. There is no shortcut. It's not just going to happen because you want it to happen. You have to put a plan together. You have to have that goal, and just work that plan until you get to that goal. And don't let excuses get in your way. And so there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Katie Crowe, your Athlete Player of the Week.
Short toss for Crowe. Goes off of Murphy. Backwards. And just like that is...